Indonesia is facing a refugee crisis, a crisis of its own making. Widespread forest destruction has already destroyed the habitat of thousands of orangutan. This destruction shows no sign of abating. As the natural forests disappear, orangutans are compelled to forage in the farmland and plantations that have replaced it. But they are not welcome there. Many are killed outright as pests. Others die slowly through malnutrition. A few survive to become illegal pets, facing a life of captivity, neglect, and abuse. In recent years, thousands of endangered or captive orangutans have been rescued, but most cannot be simply relocated into the wild, at least not immediately.
So, welcome to the quarantine. This is the beginning of a new day, and the keepers are just tidying up a bit, but in a few minutes we'll grab a coffee, have a briefing, and then everybody will go off and do what they normally do during the day. So I hope you enjoy your visit, yeah?
Since being established in 2001, this center near Medan, North Sumatra, has received and cared for more than 270 orangutans, most of which have already been returned to a life in the wild. Gathering the entire staff for the morning briefing is critical to coordinating activities and ensuring that nothing is missed.
So this is the first thing every morning, a nice hot coffee, and then we have a little briefing and everybody goes off and does their thing, yeah?
Most of the keepers and other staff are from the local villages.
This is Dr. Yeni, the veterinarian, also the station manager, and her first job of the day is to go around and check the health of all the orangutans and see if there's any problems.
Each orangutan is visually checked each morning to see that they are behaving normally and do not show symptoms of illness.
Henry and Jackson are just now preparing some milk for the orangutans, so every orangutan gets a warm drink of milk every morning, and then that's fed for the day. Delicious stuff.
Refusing their favorite breakfast of warm milk and fruit indicates that an orangutan might need medical attention. One of the first signs of any illness would be loss of appetite or loose feces beneath the cage.
Usually they're very enthusiastic about their breakfast. You can see that Rahmat is quite keen. Santi's very much afraid of people, so that's why she's hanging at the back, and as soon as we go she'll come down and grab her food.
Most of the orangutan's food is purchased from the nearby farms. This ensures that the product is fresh and free of pesticides, and strengthens the relationship between the center and surrounding community.
The keepers are just now giving these cages a clean. They get cleaned twice a day, once in the morning and then once at the end of the day in the afternoon.
Just like in a hospital, surfaces and equipment are designed for easy cleaning and disinfection. Top priority is to ensure the orangutans do not pick up any new illnesses at the center.
Semua orangutan yang dikarantina akan kami perlakukan sama. Ketika pertama kali datang akan dilakukan medical check-up sebelum kami lepaskan kembali.
Orangutans are genetically so similar to humans that they can contract most of our diseases. This includes serious diseases like hepatitis and tuberculosis. To protect the other orangutans and the staff, all new arrivals are kept in strict isolation during their first month at the center.
But the quarantine center itself is essentially a medical facility. Every orangutan that comes here, they usually have a lot of parasites, a lot of worms in their intestines and stuff, and various other ailments. So we have to put them through a quarantine period of at least a month, and during that time we give them full medical checks to check for things like hepatitis and tuberculosis, those kind of things. And once they've passed that medical, then they go to the big cages at the back, and they're introduced to other orangutans again.
Like humans, orangutan babies and juveniles thrive on milk. They get exactly the same milk formula as human babies. Orangutans feed primarily on fruits. They also eat leaves and insects such as termites. At the SOCP Center, a variety of vegetables are added to their menu. Milk helps to substitute insects as source of protein. The orangutans are fed about every 2 hours through the day.
Whose are these? These are smears.
This is a blood smear from Rahmat. We done medical checkup last week. This is for PKP and
So when Yenny was out on her round, she found that one of her orangutans has got quite loose diarrhea, so she's just taken a quick sample and she's going to prepare a slide now and just see if she can see any parasite eggs or protozoa. Quite often if they get very bad diarrhea, it's protozoa.
Beside the medical checkups, each individual is given unique identification.
Rambut ini ditujukan untuk pemeriksaan DNA untuk meyakinkan bahwa ini adalah orangutan Sumatera atau orangutan Kalimantan.
A number is tattooed painlessly on their leg. A tiny microchip is inserted under the skin. Feeding the orangutans generates a lot of waste.
This is our compost heap, so most of the waste from all the cages goes in here and it gets processed into compost. It gets turned every 3 days and after several months it's compost that we can use again in the grounds ourselves for the fruit trees, or some of the keepers also take it home and use it in their own garden. This basically just another way to give the food. Yeah, if we put it in the bags and we give the orangutans the bags, then they have to spend time to get it out. So it's what we call behavioral enrichment.
Orangutans have large brains and are highly intelligent. During their time at the quarantine center, we provide them with toys and other playthings. Old rice sacks seem to be one of their favorites. In the wild, orangutans learn survival skills from their mothers. But rescued orangutan whose mothers were killed can lack these skills. Like human children, they must be educated before being allowed to live on their own.
Biasanya pada siang hari, bila cuaca memungkinkan, kami melakukan beberapa forest school untuk bayi-bayi di bawah 2 tahun. Seperti ini yang dilakukan oleh para keeper. Namun biasanya ada beberapa bayi yang malah susah untuk turun kembali karena dia merasa sudah asik bermain di pohon.
The numerous snacks throughout the day helps keep the orangutans occupied. Like their human cousins, orangutans become bored and irritable if not kept busy. In the wild, orangutans sleep in comfort and avoid nocturnal predators by making a nest in the treetops.
These are just a variety of leaves. We give them to the orangutans every night, and some of them make a nest out of it, some of them just play with it, but it gives them a chance to sort of make a mattress and have a good night's sleep.
How they perform this crucial task is one indicator of their readiness for release into the wild. The orangutans are settled in their nests. For others, it can take a bit longer.
I hope you enjoyed your visit. I hope you found it interesting. And we'll see these guys again tomorrow. Okay, see you later.
Most of the staff go home. Several keepers and a veterinarian remain to deal with problems and to tend to the infants in the nursery. Many factors, including their age and maturity, physical and psychological health, and knowledge of survival skills, determine how long an individual will stay at the center before being a candidate for release. But sooner or later, almost all will be taken to a reintroduction facility at the edge of the Bukit 30 National Park in Jambi, or perhaps in the Janto Forest in northern Aceh. There, they will thrive in peace in a new natural home in Sumatra's majestic rainforest.